When I want straight, unbiased news, I go to Straight Arrow News, both the app and the website. The truth is that a vast majority of news organizations have their own agenda and thus they have their own bias. And because of that, I don't trust them. But with Straight Arrow News, I can read the latest in politics, business, military, tech, even sports without feeling like I'm being lied to. Also, Straight Arrow News has editorials and podcasts from a variety of people that represents all parts of the political spectrum. Right now, go to san.com/geekdom. It helps me out and it helps you get straight news on your browser, on your PC, or on your device. Check them out today. Okay, so first of all, before you proceed with this video, make sure that you are caught up to Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 because this is going to contain a major spoiler that was revealed by Thomas Ian Griffin, the actor who plays Terry Silver in Karate Kid Part 3 and Cobra Kai. Okay, so make sure you're caught up. We've been talking quite a bit about this Terry Silver sickness, that this dude's got some kind of sickness. I've been talking about it now since going back even to earlier this summer when I was going through the series, because there's been a lot of foreshadowing about Terry Silver being sick. If you go back even to his first appearance in early season 4, there were some discussions that were being made there by people who were asking if Terry went to the hospital, if he needed medicine. But that didn't seem like a big deal at the time, right? One clue is never really enough, but there's been a ton of foreshadowing. Then later on, there's that scene where Johnny confronts Terry Silver in the hospital, and Terry Silver was on a different floor. So he wasn't there just to mess with Johnny. They didn't even know they were there, like at the same hospital. So that's another example of more clues about him being sick. Then, if you go back to season 5, the finale during his fight with Chosen, you know, he pretty much explains in that fight, he pretty much says that he's not afraid to die. He is fine if Chosen kills him. He'd rather die a warrior. And for a man who's that wealthy and who has those big ambitions of growing his legacy out there with his martial arts, for him to say something like, I'm not afraid to die, you know, I'll rather die as a warrior, there's got to be more to it than that. So I already had a feeling even then that there was something else that was up and that this guy's got some kind of illness. Now, there's also an interview that he did with Christian Harloff where he said, and he basically was like, I'm not sure if this plot point's been dropped yet or not, because he probably thought that there were some parts that got cut out of previous seasons because they were probably waiting to reveal it. Like they probably were going to reveal this earlier, but instead it'll be later. But he talks about how there's more to Terry Silver than what we see. There's much more to him, and there's an aspect of his character that is not not in the front, not being told yet. So even he was giving clues about there being more to Terry Silver, but you know, he didn't know where the series was going to go. At the time of that interview, obviously the creators, John, Josh, and Hayden, had an idea and knew where the Terry character was going to end up. But by that point, no scripts had been given to any of the actors for season 6. This is going back a couple of years now. So there was no way for Thomas Ian Griffith to even know if they were going to go back to the storyline. And it seems to be a case where they did have that in some of the early drafts, and instead they decided to be more subtle about it. So recently, here's the story about today's video, and I did talk about this in my predictions. Recently, Thomas Ian Griffith was interviewed, and he admitted, this is now being talked about on all the Cobra Kai channels, and it's being talked about in the Cobra Kai community. He admitted that Terry Silver has terminal cancer. That's what he said. He was quoted as saying that Terry Silver has a form of terminal cancer. This is why all those other clues had been building up to this. This is why in Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2, he basically says, if I go to hell, I'm going to bring them all with me. Like, Terry Silver does not give a shit anymore about living. He just wants to win. He's going to go all or nothing. So because of that, this means a few different things. First of all, in my predictions video, I said that the likelihood of Terry Silver dying, I think, goes up. Whether he dies in a fight or dies of natural causes, I don't know. But he's probably not going to make it out of this show. And it's too bad, but at the same time, it's a good ending for that character. But I have enjoyed that character. He's been a phenomenal villain in this franchise from season 4, 5, and now 6. Also, he's going to be so unhinged. I mean, who knows what he's going to want the Iron Dragons to do? Who knows what he's got in his back pocket financially? Like, this guy is completely at the point of lunacy because he feels like at this point, Kreese, Johnny Lawrence, and Daniel LaRusso have all betrayed him, even though in reality, he's the one who betrayed Kreese, and Lawrence and LaRusso and him were never really friends. I mean, let's keep it a buck. But he feels like they humiliated him, right? Because he was, in his defense, he was the one that got Cobra Kai and the Sekai Taikai. But still, he's probably going to do some wild shit in season 6, part 3. He probably is. Does he die? Well, first of all, leave a comment and let me know if you think he's going to die in the show. And if so, does he die of the cancer or does he die of another reason? Is he killed? Is Kreese going to kill him? Is somebody else going to kill him? Let me know in the comments what you think. Secondly, he's going to be an absolute nut. And they have to find a really proper way to write off the character. And Thomas Ian Griffith has to bring a tippy-top performance, which I know he will, because he's a great actor when it comes to playing that character. Because he's an absolute maniacal villain and just somebody who is, you know, literally a psychopath. I mean, Terry Silver has tendencies of psychopathy. And that's probably why he's so fun to watch. At the same time, Terry Silver having cancer, in a way, doesn't that make him kind of a sympathetic character? I mean, my mom had cancer, and a bunch of my friends' moms had cancer, and a lot of people I know lost parents and, you know, loved ones and friends, and, you know, I know a couple of women that have had breast cancer. Like, cancer is no joke, right? And so when you have this maniacal, evil villain getting cancer, he's going to have to really go off the deep end for us to not have any sympathy for him. Or it'll be a situation where when he dies, maybe he'll die a warrior and he'll want to die like that, and we'll have a little bit of sympathy for him, but perhaps it'll be a situation where we'll view the character as sort of deserving it. You know, and it's kind of unfortunate because if you look back to season 4, he was all by himself, away from Kreese and Johnny and Daniel, and it was Kreese that went to go get him when Johnny and Daniel came together. It was Kreese that brought him out of retirement, so to speak, to teach martial arts at Cobra Kai. So had he been left alone, then we know that he would have, you know, continued, probably still died, right, because he's got the terminal illness, but continued on peacefully. However, he doesn't want that. That's not the character of Terry Silver that we know and love or love to hate. He likes the smoke. He likes the drama. He likes being a villain. He likes putting pain and punishment on people. If you don't believe me, go back and watch Karate Kid Part 3. Not even in Cobra Kai, just in that movie you can see how nuts he is. So in a weird way, if he does die in battle, like if Chosen kills him or Daniel or Johnny or even John Kreese, it might be better for him. He might be more at peace with the fact that he dies as a warrior, which is what he told Chosen in season 5, than if he were to just get killed by this disease that has killed so many. So it's going to be a very complex, emotional few episodes coming up for Cobra Kai season 6 part 3. I mean, we're still a few months away, and you know, the build up has been just, you know, crazy, especially with the season 6 part 2 cliffhanger in episode 10. And if people start dropping like flies, man, I would not be surprised if Terry also joins them. Because that's somebody who I think the probability of him making it out alive of Cobra Kai is not that high. I really don't think it is. Let me know what you think in the comments.